Um, do you believe that the pandemic was handled correctly?
It was definitely chaotic. I mean, it was just unprecedented chaos. I think that we did the best we could. I really do. There's still things that are coming out, with what actually happened. So it just really depends on what you believe in. But I think that we got through it and we did well. We did lose lives, and there was a lot of, it was dark, but we got through it the best way we could, and I think that it was handled the best way it could. It could have been better, it could have been worse.
Oh, you
What
said
do
it's
you
like
think?
it's like a middle ground. Well, me personally, just looking from the outside in the non-politic world, more in just the civilian world, I think that Trump was on to something with the monthly checks, with the weekly checks, and the additional. But it opened my eyes up to a lot of different things. The government is aware that people's livelihood and that people's wages that they make on a regular basis are not enough for them to live off of. Otherwise, they wouldn't offer more money and stimulus than more than most people get paid on the average week or the average month. So it was kind of like an eye opener. If you're going to pay me exactly what I get paid, then it's kind of like you're admitting that I can live off of it. But if you're going to pay me more, then you're kind of admitting that you're aware that I don't make enough for me to live off of. So that was like one aspect that I had to take a step back and think about. My vision on it is a little bit skewed because I'm a little well off. So for the average person, especially the person I was dating at the time, seeing her go from making 400, 500 a week to making 1,000, 2,000 a week during one of the worst times in the world was very conflicting because we couldn't go outside and use it, but we could save it. And then I started to note that her, much like a lot of other people in our community, when they get that type of money, they have no idea what to do with it. And there was no set parameters around the money to say when the money was going to come back up to when we had to pay it back, and also what to do with the money on a financial literate standpoint, which is more so for the household than it is for the government to show us. So a lot of those people blew through that money and ended up in the exact same predicament as they did before. So the only thing that I see, because it was definitely a lot of different opinions on what could have handled it better, but the two things that I see that would have definitely put us in a better position is one, sense of urgency. The pandemic started in March. The checks started to roll in around April. Had the pandemic started around February and the checks started to roll in at the end of February, everybody would have caught the stride of when they became non-essential and essential. Because there was about a month and a half where people who were non-essential were panicking, like, what am I going to do? And then it took a minute.
I was one of those.
You was one of those? Okay, so you understand what I'm saying. And it took a minute for those checks to start rolling in. And once they did, you were breaking even because now you're catching up on bills that you thought that you already had the money for, but it's no choice. You can't go to work. So the bills are going to pile up. Then they forgive them for a month. Some people doubled it up because they forgave the last month, and some people just forgave it. So it was like a gray area that you were in where you like, as good as I've been doing, I couldn't have planned for this. And now I'm almost 110% at the whim of somebody else. And they have no sense of urgency. So if I lose my house, they don't care. If I lose my car, they don't care. If my kids don't eat, they don't care. But it's always going to be a subjective point of view thing because a person who's super well off is just like, I take your time, figure it out. So it's like a gray area right in the middle. So that would be like the one thing that I would say definitely could have been handled better. Trump's entire campaign when it came to the Spanish, whatever he called it. He called it a lot of stuff. Other than the Chinese
The Chinese virus.
The Chinese
He
virus.
came from Wuhan in a Wuhan lab, so he wasn't lying. He's just a very honest, blunt person.
Yeah.